Good evening, muy buenas noches, and welcome to the Ateliers Claus TV show. As we are entering the winter of 2020, we have for you tonight artist, filmmaker, musician Floris Vanhoof.
Sneeuwt buiten.
Oh ja? Oh, fantastisch.
Ja.
Wil je iets drinken?
Graag, dank u. Dank u wel.
Well, Floris,
Santé.
welcome. We are two here, but I heard when you're alone, you're allowed to be with three now. Well, I have a present for you. We have another very special guest tonight, and I want you to have him or she or it talk about your work, but you'll see. Be careful, it's very heavy. You can,
Shall I open?
yeah, you can break that. Yeah.
Oh wow!
What is this thing?
It's a coral, I think.
This is a,
Yeah.
This is a Belgian coral then.
Oh, it's a fossil. Ooh, how heavy is this?
Thi-
Yeah, I think it's a fossilized plant or coral.
yeah.
Where'd you find it?
Oh, it comes from the south part of Belgium, a region called Nîmes. Doesn't it look like your work?
Yes, a little bit.
All these dots and strange shapes?
Yeah, of course. It feels really good also I mean...
What do you mean it feels really good?
If I touch it, the feeling is nice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's a stone, but it's not rough, you know, and you can feel the roundings in it. It has a good grip also because all the dots.
Yeah. What are these dots then?
I think those are like pieces of the plant or pieces of the coral, like more or less the flower of the coral. I don't know how you say exactly.
Okay. So how did fossils influence you? You had this exhibition this summer, mixing film and fossils.
Yeah.
In your music, there are fossils too.
Yes.
Can you explain?
Yes, of course. For example, like an old backlit record, we already think is a fossil because this one's maybe 50 or maybe older. It's probably 70 years old or something.
Yeah.
But then this is 70 years, but this is 150 million years old. So
And it's right here with us now in 2020.
yes, it's pretty amazing. I think we
Yeah.
have and the idea of something being that old and we are still able to look at it and see and enjoy the shape and see how the life form lived. That made me so heavy. That made me feel give me some kind of a humble feeling because we're only like really here and they are not really there because here's where the records are and where the slide projectors and old film projectors are, but then way further that's when the fossils were alive.
Yeah.
So looking back in history, but not really history and prehistory, like even before history. That's what I think is inspiring and what inspired me to make that exhibition in Cinematheque last summer.
This think they say history started when people started leaving written traces somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
In your music, there is no language. There are no words. It's like you're also like in a pure sound, abstract universe.
Yeah, but it's also a communication. So it's
Your music is a communication?
of course.
Oh. What do you try to communicate?
I don't know. It's what the music says. I don't say it.
Okay. Tonight, I'm sorry. We have to communicate with
Of course.
words.
No, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. But more and more you're using this objects or structure, and I have the impression you are trying to make them be part of the artwork, not just as a decoration, but like as a source of sound and image. It's like you have these huge structures now, and it's like you are bringing them alive.
Yeah,
like,
but it's the same as here, I think. Like animism, like when there's an object, and we can, if you have an object and then a sound comes out of the object, it makes the object alive. It really animates the object. And like in animation film, for example, if there's a little thing moving, but if the little thing moving also makes a sound, it gets very interesting. It becomes alive.
Yeah.
And it's also how that plays with our imagination. That is, of course, a lot of fun. Because you can, of course, paint a face or a picture, but it's sometimes, for me, and it's more interesting to go back and see what I can leave out, until we have only something left that doesn't speak to our language or to our to a narrative part of our brain, but just speaks to our imagination directly.
So what would you think the sound would be of this?
Oh, that's very hard to imagine. In those ages, this is even before dinosaurs. So in those ages, we really don't know. So that's also what gives me a freedom to think of sounds.
Yeah. What would you use to have a sound for this object? What do you think?
Electronics, for sure. Because it has nothing to do with the stone, so it's you could scrape the stone and everything, or like hit it with drumsticks. But then if you do it with electronics, it has nothing to do with it. You have a lot of freedom.
Still, you're interested in really ancient electronics. It's like you're trying to look for the most ancient technology and bring it to this time. No,
yeah.
You're trying to do an archaeology of recent times. No,
a little bit, but it's more like there's a lot of things that were invented, and that always inspires me. But after other things get invented, we forget about the old things being invented, and still those old things have some potential in there.
Yeah.
And also, if you look at the old things with a mind of today, you can find maybe new ways to play with the old things and see how that goes. Also, and that's more simple. It's also more fun for me to play with those kind of things than to sit behind the computer too much.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like to watch the screen the whole day.
What's the snow like outside?
Oh, it's pretty okay. I mean, you see, it's already dry. It's dry. It's pretty dry snow also. There was a snowman. You know, a snowman.
Yeah, I know. I met several of them in the past.
Was walking in the street. But for the rest, I think it'll stay.
The snowman or the snow?
Snow in general. We might have a white Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the perfect lockdown weather. In fact, no.
Yeah.
But why the snow? You like the snow?
Yeah. Michael Snow is.
That's the reason why.
Yeah,
Another reference to archaeology.
Yeah, of course. He just made a book of Michael Snow was just reissued, and for the whole week I was thinking of going to the bookshop that ordered it for me. Primary Information did a reissue of a book of his with only pictures. Like the whole book is only
that's very
pictures,
nice.
and it's a really interesting book. And I always wanted to see it and go through it. And the whole week I've not been going to the Copyright bookshop in Antwerp because it was snowing.
You're more influenced by his films than by his music, no?
Yep.
You don't know. Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. I think I don't really see a separation between the media anymore. So I don't really know.
I have the impression that experimental musicians know much more of his filmography than his jazz music.
Yeah, but then I've got some music with him and Paul Dutton.
Yeah.
And then of course the last LP, which is that's mind blowing, of course. So that's definitely there together with his great films. I've seen La Région Centrale 2 times.
Yeah, that's an experience.
Yeah, it's like the camera is on an automated tripod that goes like this the whole time and films like at the top of a mountain. And the camera just flies over. I think it's incredibly beautiful.
Yeah. It's in a desert. I think the food stand is still there somewhere where it was filmed.
Oh yeah, that's possible. Yeah. They made probably a concrete part to put it. And I think the engine itself, like the tripod and the moving arm, is in a museum somewhere in Canada. Which I hope to see sometime.
This is really close to what we just talked about. Like he's not behind the camera anymore. He lets the camera film for him. Like it's happening.
Yeah. One funny thing about one time I saw that film was we were in Ghent in a very small cinema and there was maybe 30 people. And then of course with that kind of film, after 10 minutes, okay, we're in for something. We have to like just let the film come over us and see. But some people don't like that, and they'd rather went to the bar or rather went out. So half of the room left already the first 10, 15 minutes, and then the film continues. And the really funny thing is we ended up with, I think, 3 people in the cinema. And me, somebody else, and then another person. And that other person left 2 minutes before the film ended.
Okay.
So he sat there like being annoyed and like...
But I hope you are still there and listening to what this guy has to tell us.
Oh yeah. We're also in film now.
TV or internet, I don't know. It's like something new Ateliers Claus is trying to. But can you tell us something about the setup of tonight? Yeah.
I've got my suitcase with me with electronics. And I also have a film set with me. Since we're in lockdown, I've been making 60mm films again. Also thanks to the exhibition in Cinematheek, I thought I did the expo in Cinematheek, but I didn't really make a film, like a complete film on 60mm since a while. So I started again with that, and it's really, really exciting. So I thought I would show something, but it's not really ready yet. So I'm only showing the camera test, the light test of that today. But I brought a little...
you brought a projector with you?
Yeah, I've got the projector with me and a little film set. So I'm projecting the film set on top of the film set.
But it's like 24 frames and they are filming in 25, or there will be a small...
Oh, there's no problem. I'm slowing down the projector anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't really.
So that's one part. There will be film.
Yeah, I mean it will be one part in general. It's multi-camera. So the music is pretty simple. A little bit krautrocky piece that's I try to mimic other instruments with the synthesizer. That's how a synthesizer was done in the beginning, and at first I really like to make those abstract sounds, but now it's in my head. There's a whole band playing. So there's a guitarist, there's a bass player, there's an organist, and maybe something else, and maybe different two.
That's really cinematographic
together.
The film organ. You know, the organ they used to play on. They used to for movies. They try to have all the instruments like it would be a full orchestra.
They still do it at baseball matches, I think, or rugby matches. I'm not sure in the U.S.
Okay.
There's some still live organ music with sports.
Okay. Wow.
In the U.S. Yeah. So I never know. Never watched any sports game in any arena, so I didn't see that either. But I'm curious how that's going to be.
Some people can use your show to watch sports with.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends. Yeah. Probably not wrestling or anything, but like, yeah. I don't know. Darts.
Billiard.
Yeah. Billiard or darts is probably the the funniest to do.
Maybe put it on a quicker speed, no?
Yeah, maybe they will throw better, you know?
You mean they listen to your music while playing darts?
Yeah, I never was asked to play a soundtrack for a darts game.
No, maybe a good idea for the future.
Bit dangerous if the darts player get annoyed and starts throwing at the musician.
No, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Looking forward.
Yeah, I was thinking about that made me think about a thing that Willem de Ridder once said. Like you know this
yeah.
It's a Dutch radio maker. Most of the time, he is a publisher of really good magazines, really beautiful pictures in the magazines. Also, Willem de Ridder, but he. Yeah, he was a little bit of a Fluxus artist himself, and when he was in the museum, the director of the museum asked, like, Willem de Ridder, what's up next? And he said, yeah, no, I'm gonna quit. And the museum director was like, yeah, why are you going to quit? And the Willem de Ridder said, like, yeah, there's always, I mean, we can do these Fluxus things, and then we annoy the audience, and the audience that comes and visits the museum gets angry. But there's always one guy who says, "Oh, that's only art," and then everybody's relieved, you know, like, "Oh, it's only art. We don't have to get mad because it's only art. It's all right. Relax." And I think more than visual arts, music still has the power to annoy and get people out of their seat or get people shouting. I think
the Robert Filius says that art is the thing that makes life more exciting than art. Like, I think. Thank you, Floris, for making our life more exciting.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.